Ugh, I cannot tell y'all how good it feels to finally be recording again after that weird lapse of having a broken laptop and everything seemingly going wrong. Thank you for your patience. Now, let's get into the video. Thus far, I have sorted the characters from The Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Majora's Mask, and characters from the Hunger Games trilogy into their Hogwarts and Ilvermorny houses. And while I will definitely be going back to the Zelda series as well as other geeky franchises to sort characters into their houses, for now, while I'm fresh off the hype train for How to Train Your Dragon 3 The Hidden World, I thought that now would be the ideal time to send the Vikings of Berk to Hogwarts and Ilvermorny. As with all of my sorting videos, this is just my perception of these beloved characters, although I do try to be as objective as I can. If you don't quite understand 100% what the houses value and why someone might be sorted into one house over the other, or what a hat stall means, or what two statues turning at Ilvermorny means, just check the description down below for any clarification you need. Also, while I am primarily sorting the characters from the movies, I will also be looking at a couple of main characters from the Netflix series Dragons Race to the Edge. It's an excellent series. Please go watch it. And yes, there will be spoilers for all How to Train Your Dragon series, movies, everything. While there were some TV shorts as well as a couple of other series like Dragons, Riders of Berk, and Defenders of Berk, I'm only looking at characters, as far as TV series go, from Dragons Race to the Edge, although I think they also appear in the earlier shows too. Lastly, before we delve in, let me know that you are a fellow Potterhead by commenting below your house from both Hogwarts and Ilvermorny. I personally, as many of you know, am a Ravenclaw at Hogwarts and a Thunderbird at Ilvermorny. First appearing in the smaller series Dragons Riders / Defenders of Berk, Heather became a strong mainstay and main character of the Netflix series Dragons Race to the Edge. She's extremely independent and very determined in each pursuit she takes on. She's strong and brave, but also values friendship and loyalty. This left me in a tizzy since the former are values of Gryffindor, but the latter are values of Hufflepuffs. Judging by the trials and relationship she has with her brother Dagger, loyalty seems to reign above all else. Therefore, Hufflepuff. As for Ilvermorny, per usual, this is always a little bit more difficult since it's less what a person values above all else, and more just a accumulation of their personality and traits and who they are. With that in mind, I'd say she's a warrior, and thus, Wampus. Clearly, Dagger values power and glory. I mean, he lied about being the one who killed his father just so he would seem tougher. However, he has a serious change of heart in the middle of the series, and it shows that his values change from power to something else. I dare say he becomes a person who values loyalty and the ability to work hard for one's goals. Thus, Hufflepuff, just like his sister. Still more so like his sister, very much a warrior, very much Wampus. What a villain. I loved his and HICCUP's banter and their constant mental game of maces and talons. While frustrating, sure, it made for a much more enjoyable villain to follow. Now, is it knowledge he truly values, or craftiness? Both make sense, no? Well, there's the bit at the very end of his life and his time in the Netflix series where he admits that he's had a change of heart and respects HICCUP way more than he already did, and now wants to protect dragons and has a huge love for them. While one could argue that this is wisdom and therefore he values the ability to be wise and would make him seem more Ravenclaw, I'm not so sure. I would actually still say he's Slytherin. He's someone who values ambition and the ability to be cunning and crafty, but in the end just uses it for more than evil ways. Still, on that note, as far as Ilvermorny is concerned, he's much more of a scholar, much more of the mind, and therefore Horned Serpent. Whoa! Totally did not see that plot twist coming, am I right? Talk about ambitious and cunning. Yeah, he's Slytherin. He's Slytherin if for no other reason than his lust for power, which separates him slightly from VIGGO, because obviously he's using it for not good and VIGGO changes. VIGGO seemed more concentrated on the brainy aspect of Slytherins, whereas Johann was more of the stereotypical evil side of Slytherins. Sorry, Slytherins, I know you're not all evil. I promise, I know that. As for Ilvermorny, I think that both the Horned Serpent and Thunderbird statues would turn to him. He's been everywhere and possessed all these great treasures. And I mean, yeah, he's smart, especially to fool everyone in the archipelago and beyond, but his travels make him an adventurer, even if an evil one. So I would think he would choose Thunderbird, but... oh, Gobber. Love him. Strong, silly, comedic, sarcastic, loyal. Yes, loyal. However, that said, while he is the loyal right-hand man to Stoick the Vast, the chief of Berk, I think he really admires the bravery, especially the two different types of bravery that he sees in Stoick and HICCUP. And beyond that, he's very witty, smart, and creative. Look at all the different prosthetic arms he makes for himself. And it's these traits that stand out among the rest, in my opinion, and thus, I believe he would be sorted into Ravenclaw. Yet, in a certain sense, I see him as a healer. A teacher, if you will, and I think a teacher heals stupidity when done right. That's how I view it. I mean, he teaches the children of Berk how to fight dragons, and then later how to love dragons, I guess. Not as much as Fishlegs, but you get the point. He's very much a teacher, and I see that as more of a heartfelt healer type aspect, and thus I would place him in Pukwudgie. Oh, and he was also a master blacksmith who taught his apprentice HICCUP, and he attempts and fails to be the healer in place of Gothi in that one episode. But anyway, moving on. Yeah, I put them together, but can you blame me? It makes sense. Anyway, what do they value? Loki, the god of mischief. So Slytherin? Nah, they don't value power and glory. That's not their ambition. They don't even really always seem that ambitious. They're just kind of... You know who they're kind of like? Fred and George Weasley. They hate following rules, and that kind of makes them reckless. Kind of like one of the stereotypical negative traits of Gryffindors, even though not all Gryffindors are like that. Look at Hermione. Yeah, I now that I'm thinking about it, totally, they're just like Fred and George Weasley. And so I place them in Gryffindor. Following the idea of being a tad reckless, you could say this is similar to being adventurous, and thus I say Thunderbird for Ilvermorny. Prideful, ambitious, kind of wimpy, loudmouth, pretty much like Draco Malfoy? Okay, I'm torn between Gryffindor and Slytherin for this guy. Well, both of them actually. Maybe even to the point of it being a hat stall. I'm gonna go Slytherin for now, but I'm sure the moment I start editing this video, I'm gonna be like, actually no, it's Gryffindor. And then I'll publish it and be like, no, actually it's Slytherin. And then I'll look at it 3 months down the line and go, no, it's Gryffindor. You get the point. Tell me what you think down below. But without a shadow of a doubt, SPITELOUT and SNOTLOUT, Jorgenson, weird names, are definitely warriors, definitely Wampus. Okay, this is a serious hat stall that has been driving me crazy. It's between Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. He's so smart and he values knowledge, but he's also so loyal and so kind and so hardworking. Yeah, it's so much in hat stall. Yeah. In the beginning and for a long time, my heart and gut when writing this script totally said Hufflepuff. And then I rewatched the first episode of the Netflix series, and there was something Fishlegs said that made me realize, nope, he's not Hufflepuff. He acts and walks and talks like a Hufflepuff, but he's not a Hufflepuff. He values the same traits as one, but he flat out says in that first episode something along the lines of, there's nothing more valuable than knowledge. And this was when he went down to the bottom of a boat that had like a bunch of books. He discovered them, got really excited, and says this line, or something along those lines. He values knowledge above everything else. He's Ravenclaw. And call me crazy, but I see both the Horned Serpent, obviously, and the Pukwudgie statue turning. Now, as you know, when two statues turn, you get the choice. So which would he choose? Well, yeah, he values knowledge, but I wonder if he would actually choose Pukwudgie because he would know that that's where his knowledge and what he loves would be best suited. That's where his talents would be best used in helping others. So I could see him choosing Pukwudgie. While I may not be a huge Cate Blanchett fan, her portrayal of VALKA, yes, so good. Anyway, the character, Hogwarts house. She values protecting people and doing the right thing? Yeah, nothing immediately stands out with this character. She has traits of all of them, in a sense. Except maybe Slytherin. She's kind and loyal. She values bravery, but she's also smart and very wise. Hence why she decides to stay away from Berk. She thinks that's the wiser option. So I'm gonna say Ravenclaw. Ilvermorny. Beyond easy, right? No. Pukwudgie and Thunderbird. I can see them both turning. I mean, she does heal all those dragons, but she's a very soulful kind of person, so probably Thunderbird, that's what she would choose. I know, most people are gonna say Gryffindor right off the bat. Yeah, I mean, he's a stereotypical Viking, but I agree. Yeah, he's totally Gryffindor. He totally values bravery above everything else. Yes, he's smart and loyal, but clearly the bravery stands out, and that's one of the things he loves about HICCUP is he sees a new kind of bravery, and he admires that in his son. So yeah, Gryffindor. It was obvious, to the point of me almost questioning it, but it was the right amount of obvious. And of course, he's a warrior. Wampus. And I don't mean to say that like it's a negative thing, it's just, I kind of feel bad when they're obvious because I'm like, am I missing something? But no, that's what fits. That makes sense. I freaking love ASTRID so much. She's literally me, except no one knows it. She's me without the inhibitions, or without being self-conscious, or without wanting to be polite and ladylike. Basically, if I had no inhibitions, I would be ASTRID. Y'all have no idea. That said, ASTRID's not reckless. She's actually very smart and artful. And while she doesn't seem like it at first, she really does value someone who's willing to stick out from the crowd and stand up for what they believe in, and that's what attracts her to HICCUP after, you know, being flown around by Toothless and then kind of experiencing it all and realizing, hey, HICCUP's different, but this is a good different, and I admire that. And she clearly learns a lot, and it really opens her up and changes her. She flat out says in Hidden World to HICCUP, I never told you, but I'm who I am today because of you. All that said, I still place her in Gryffindor. Yes, she's loyal, but she more so values loyalty in the sense of friendship, which is a Gryffindor value. Not that the other houses don't value friendship, but you know what I mean. She's very brave, and she is a warrior. She could fit into some of the other houses, but I think she's more of a fighter than anything. For justice, but a fighter. So, Wampus. You know, it's funny, typically favorite characters of mine, unknowingly I end up sorting them into my houses, Ravenclaw and Thunderbird, which is probably why I like those characters, because they have similar traits to me, but ASTRID is the first character that didn't get sorted into either, but she's one of my favorites. Interesting. Just when I thought FISHLEGS Hatstall was the worst. Also Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff. No wonder he and FISHLEGS get along so well. It's a total hat stall, probably one of the longest hat stalls ever. HICCUP is extremely hardworking. He's loyal to his friends, his people, his love of dragons, his morals, and his principles. He's very, very just loyal. But he's also a guy who values learning and being open to change, being open to making a difference and standing out above the rest. Not above, among the rest. Above might be more Slytherin. Anyway, not to mention he's so creative and intuitive. So which is it? While I honestly could just flip a coin for this one and be satisfied, for now I'll say Ravenclaw. As for Ilvermorny, oh, he's so Thunderbird. I mean, his mother tells him, you've got the heart of the chief and the soul of a dragon. That's epic. And I think the soul part is what fights for #1 in his mind most. He does have the heart of a chief, but it's his soul that drives him in his chiefly duties, even after the dragons are hidden away in the hidden world. So yeah, Thunderbird. I just said that my favorite characters tend to end up being sorted into my houses. Well, yeah. Well, that was a tough one for sure. So many great characters and so much to delve into about all of them. When I originally wrote this script, it was like 10 or 11 pages long, and I tried to get it down to 4, which is what I think it is. It might even be 3. I cut a lot. Nonetheless, I think this was my favorite sorting challenge thus far, and that might be because, again, I'm fresh off the hype train of How to Train Your Dragon. I just love this series so much. The message in the last one just resonated with me so freaking much. What do you think? Which ones would you sort differently? Which ones do you agree with? And be sure to let me know your houses down below. Well, anyway, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. And of course, thank you so much to my patrons like Justin, Greg, and Andrew. Y'all's support is very much appreciated. And if anyone else would like to get in on the special stuff that I offer my patrons, just go to patreon.com/thegeekapprentice. The link is in the description below.